Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you what you can sow right now to get yourself ahead of the game of the next season. The first thing I'm going to show you is my onion seeds. I normally grow by set, but we all know, like everyone else, they bolt. We have massive bolt issues, especially those bloody red onions. So the first thing I'm going to be sowing is Elsa Craig show onions. They grow massive, but I'm going to be harvesting them a little bit smaller, and let some grow on. Hopefully I'll get a huge show onion. Not going to happen, but we'll try. So that's the first thing I'm going to be sowing. The next thing is a spherical onion called Globo Onion. I've had these, amazing taste, but I'm going to be growing from seed this year. The next thing I'm going to be sowing is red Creole onions. These are going to be my red onion variation this year. Fingers crossed. The next thing I'm going to show you is my Zabroon shallots. Again, normally by sets later on in the season. I'm probably still going to buy shallot sets, especially like the golden shallots, but let's try these in the new propagator I've got. I'll show you that later on. The last thing I'm going to be sowing in the onion family is my Lilia purple onions. These are a spring onion variation. They're absolutely beautiful on salads and things like that, but you can sow some now to get some at the early spring. That's all my onions. The other thing that you can do right now is greyhound cabbages. If you sow some now, you will get some ready and to harvest by the start of the summer. So they will be my summer cabbages. The last thing that I'll be sowing at this particular time will be my Luffa seeds. Again, never tried them before, but I want to see if I can grow some natural sponges. So fingers crossed. I know they're hard to grow. I know so many people who have failed at this, but I know a few who have succeeded. So they need to be started off early in the season because they've got a long growing period. So fingers crossed, guys. Also, I'd like to know what you're growing new this season. I know for a fact that I'm changing a lot of my seeds. I watched a video by Jane Kelly, our amazing allotment channel. If you haven't seen her channel already, go take a look. I'll put a link in the description. Basically, her partner Mike and her sat down at the end of the season, cut open all the tomatoes and sat there and tasted them all. And it just made me, inspired me to think, I'm sticking to too many of the old faithful. So I scrapped them all. I've got all new different variations, which I'm going to show you in a different video. I'm also going to be growing oyster mushroom. I know this is a little simple kit, but it's worth a try. And also button mushrooms. So they're another two things I'm going to be trying new this year. I'm now going to show you how to sow some quick and easy way of sowing some onion seeds ready for this season. I'm going to be sowing mine in my Vitapod. Father Christmas was very generous this year. Hello, Charlie. Father Christmas was very generous this year. And he's delivered me a lovely Vitapod. I'm really new to the Vitapod, I'm going to be honest. However, Eli and Kate's Kitchen and Garden, Eli knows everything about a Vitapod, especially anything to do with the kitchen and garden. If you want to know more, she's just posted a video now about the Vitapod, the setup and whatnot. Go and take a look at her channel. I'll put a link in the description. I'm going to go get changed, and then I'm going to show you quickly how to sow some onion seeds, pop them in my propagator, and then I'm off out. It's Boxing Night. Have a lovely night, have a lovely new year, and take care, guys. Here's the video. Save you the fuss, here's some I've already prepared. Okay, so a quick and easy way is to get your seed. Now I recommend about 50 seeds per one of these trays. So take your seed out. This is the Elsa Craig. Take it out of the packet. Check the seed over. You don't want to be adding mouldy seed or damp seed. Okay, so evenly spread the seed across the soil. Make sure the soil is flat. You don't want it all rolling into the middle. 50 should be plenty for this tray. Now once you've done that, most people put soil on top. I'd recommend using vermiculite. This is vermiculite. You need to put a small layer across the top and then dampen. So just add the vermiculite. It's a good growing medium. It also has like these little bits of gold in it as well. The sparkles. Okay, so I've added the vermiculite, maybe add a little bit more. Make sure that there's no spaces. And then water. I tend to use a spray bottle at this stage. Give it a water, make sure that this top layer stays wet at all times, and you'll have an amazing germination from this. So I ordered myself a triple Vitapod with lights. when all this came, I was a little bit shocked. I thought, like, have I ordered a greenhouse? So many boxes. So I'm going to now take all this apart. I'll speed it up a little bit. And I'm going to try and show you how I set up this Vitapod. Wish me luck, guys. Okay, so I've had a quick look at the instructions. They're a bit vague, to be honest. So luckily, I've had a few tips off Eli. I know this goes here. The only issue I've got is that it says, and as always, I've not got a bloody flathead screwdriver here that over the plot. So it says to fit this, losing screws already, but to this, and a little bolt. So I'm going to have to use a little knife. Okay, so I've now over tightened that. Now, whether or not I'm doing this wrong, this goes on this side. The instructions, there's like this gap here. There's like a gap here. Okay, so me being a bit of a donut, I've now worked out that 2 sides are long, 2 sides are short. That would make sense. Right, so that's onto there. Let's add this one onto here. And now they fit. So I had 2 short pieces and I wondered where that extra, you know, few inches was coming from. We're going somewhere. Right, let's finish this off. I will say that if anyone's thinking about getting one of these and they just want to start off some seeds and all, you could do with just the smaller one. This will be perfect for growing on, you know, tomato plants for a few months and things like that. So, you know, the size will come in handy. But if you just want to start off some seeds and things like onions and things like that, you could just get half of this. But I mean, this is a good 4 foot or so long, maybe longer. But I kind of figured, like, if I bought the smaller one and then I wanted a larger one, I might be kicking myself later on that I wish I got, which is what I did, you know, which I do with the allotments and things like that. You know, you get something and then you run out of space, so I'd rather just have the larger one from now and then. There's no going back then. We're nearly done. Oh, to be honest, now I've worked out what it is that if you're getting one of these, you obviously put the vents on the sides, and then to do the front and the back, you use 1 short piece and 1 long piece to make the full length. What I was doing was I picked up the 2 short pieces and I was thinking, why is there a gap in the middle? And then after looking through all the boxes, I do think that the instructions for the Vitapod is a little bit vague of kind of what you do. I'm sure there's things online for you to do, but I think that's a little bit vague. There's literally like a little paragraph here saying bolt 1 long and vent the side to 1 short. Okay, so it does tell me what I'm supposed to do. I ignored that. But yeah, so I've worked it out in the end anyway. All good. But yeah, so that's pretty much the first layer. Doesn't fit massively snug, which there's probably a reason for that. I do like this though, I gotta be honest. With this stacked up, it's gonna be huge. But I must be honest, I'm impressed by this. Like, I am really impressed. I messaged a few other YouTubers and said, like, should I get one, should I get one? And everyone was like, get one, just get it. It's like the best toy in the world. So vents are really cool. I bought the full kit, like, so I've got the triple height with the lights. I kind of thought, if I'm going to do it, I may just get it all rather than buying dribs and drabs and then wishing I got it later on, like I said earlier. This is the first part. Right, let's get the other parts done. And there we have it, my triple Vitapod with lights. I'm in love with it, I gotta be honest, it's huge. It is absolutely huge. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be. However, the quality, and it's just perfect. To build it, you've got to have some experience with Lego, I've got to be honest. It was a bit fiddly, but it's not hard. It's just that many screws. You just got to make sure that you don't lose any little parts and little plastic screws. But overall, the build, I love it. The only downside I don't like about it is that when you want to go inside, you do have to take the lights off to go back in. But it's not that much of an issue. Overall, I love this. Like, this is going to be the best growing space I could ever have for my seeds and my plants this year. So overall, I love it. So I hope this helped you a little bit in convincing you to get one, or maybe even getting one side. Personally myself, the one side is perfect enough for seeds and things like that to start off, like onions and even tomatoes if you are starting a little bit later in the season. For me, this will be perfect because I'll continue growing up until they're huge in this. I mean, 8 tomato plants in here will be, by the time I put them out, will be plenty. So, but overall, I love it. I absolutely love it. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this really helped you. Right, let's go put some seeds in it. Okay, so as per usual, I've made a mess. However, I have added all the vermiculite to all the tops of the soils. I'm now going to give it a light spray in of water, and I'll add this to the propagator.